Today, you are welcome to my channel. This is Kevin Davis Accounting. So today, I would like us to look at cost behavior. And then when you look at cost behavior, remember in my previous video when I was introducing cost and management accounting, when I was talking about classification of costs, how cost is grouped, how cost can be classified, I said that cost can be classified based on behavior. And when I talk about cost behavior, here I'm talking about how cost responds to the output levels. How does cost change, or how does cost behave in relation to the changing output levels? Because we saw that cost can change through three ways. Now, one of the ways that we saw cost reacting, we say that we have what they call fixed costs. And then when I said fixed costs, these are costs that remain unchanged, irrespective of the output levels within a relevant range. So that means fixed costs, these ones remain unchanged, irrespective of the output levels. But these costs are always within a relevant range. What do I mean by relevant range? Because we have this thing that fixed costs don't always change. Yeah, which is true. But now, for example, let me say we are renting a room, and that room we are renting it for $10. Okay, I'm just giving an example. And then the capacity of that room can only take in 100 items. All right, so it means every time the business produces below 100 items, shall pay $10. Now imagine the business upgrades and starts to produce 140 items. So that means the one room will still not be enough. That means there will be need for us to open up another room, to get another room. So that means you're going to rent another room, which is also $10. So at the end of the day, your fixed cost will be $20. So, and this is what we call a step up fixed cost. So that's why I told you within the relevant range. So that's the word that we should take into notice, because if it's within this range, then that is very fine. But then if the range changes from the 100 items and we close to the 140 items, that means the extra 40 items will require their own room. Okay, and because of that, shall open up another room, and then you shall start to pay the rental for that. It means our fixed cost is not going to be $10, it's going to be $20 because we are paying for the two rooms. All right, so when I talk about fixed cost, I say that these costs remain unchanged irrespective of the output levels, but within a relevant range. Then we have what they call variable costs. Now, variable costs, these ones change proportionally to the levels of output. If the output levels are maybe increasing, then the cost will also increase. If the output levels are reducing, then these costs will also reduce because they change proportionally to the change in the output levels. So, and also here, the most important word is proportionally, because these costs change proportionally to the output levels. Then lastly, we have what they call mixed costs. So mixed costs, these are costs which have both the fixed cost element and the variable cost element. So in the simple words, the mixed costs, sometimes they are called total costs. So it means for us to get the mixed cost, you're going to get the variable cost plus the fixed cost. So these ones, they have both the fixed cost element and the variable cost element. So that's all about the mixed cost. Now, this is how cost can behaves. And now I'm going to just show you some simple illustration here. Let me say we have fixed cost. Let me say we have $10, and then we have variable cost per unit as $5. Okay, then let me just show you something here. Let me call this our output levels. Let me say we have our fixed costs here. Let me say we have our variable cost, and then we shall have our mixed cost, or what they call the total cost. So if our output levels, let me say for example, if our output levels are 0, you know, the fixed cost here is supposed to pay the $10. Now, whether you're producing goods or not, as long as you're occupying that room, then you're supposed to pay. So that means the fixed cost will remain, whether you're producing or not. So, and for us to get our variable cost, we are going to get our variable cost per unit, multiply it by the output levels or the quantity, then you get our variable cost. So we have 5 times 0, and then we shall get our 0 here. Okay, now for us to get the mixed cost or the total cost, I told you it's a fixed cost plus a variable cost, then we shall get 10. Hope that is very okay. Now, when our output levels or the quantity that we are producing now is 1, so our fixed cost will still remain. Whether you're producing 1 or 100, it will remain 10. Okay? Now, our variable cost now, I told you it is variable cost per unit multiplied by the output levels. So it will be 5 times 1, and we shall have our 5. Then our mixed cost or our total cost will be 15. Alright. Then if our output levels go to 2, then of course our fixed cost will remain 10. Okay. Then our variable cost per unit will be 5 multiplied by 2, and we get 10. Then our total cost will be 20. Sorry. Okay. So that's it. So if we go to 3 as our output levels, our fixed cost will remain 10. Okay. Then our variable cost will be 5 times 3, which is 15. And then we shall have here our 25. Let me say we go to our output levels as 4. If there are 4, then our fixed cost remain as 10. Then our variable cost now is going to be 5 times 4, which is 20, giving us 30. Alright, let me first end here. Now, let me say that the room which we are paying for, the $10, okay, can only take in 4 units. So that means beyond 4, if you are to produce more beyond this, it means you are going to get another room that you're supposed to pay for. That means if you get 5 here, it means you're going to get another room. And getting another room means our fixed cost is going to increase. So it will become 20. Then we shall have 5 times 5, which is 25. And then our total cost will be 45. So this one is what they call the step up fixed cost. Now, step up fixed cost, this is when you have been having a fixed cost within a given range, and the range which is maximum, and that means you are supposed to upgrade to another range. So when you upgrade to another range, it means the fixed cost is going to change the amount. So if it was 10, then it's becoming 20. So that's it about the fixed cost and the variable cost. Now, when I talk about the fixed costs, let me just show you some graphical representation. So one, we have what they call the fixed costs. So fixed cost is going to be like this. Of course, we have here our cost, and then we shall have here our output. So this is what we call fixed cost. So it remains constant within a relevant range. But then also we have what they call step up fixed costs. So for the step up fixed cost, it will look like this. Okay, shall have here our cost, and then shall have here our output. So it looks like this. So it's first constant, then it increases, it becomes constant again, like this. So this is what they call a step up fixed cost. Then when we come to the variable costs. The variable costs, I told you, these ones change proportionally to the levels of output. So because of that, it will look like this. Of course, we have our output here, and then we shall have our cost here. Okay, then it will be like this. So this is what they call variable cost. And then when it comes to the mixed costs or total costs, for them they look like this. Still the same way, we shall have our cost here, and then we shall have our output. Now, I see where variable costs are starting from. The variable costs start from the 0 mark, but when it comes to the mixed costs, they don't start from the 0 mark. So these ones are what they call the mixed cost. So this is how cost behaves, ladies and gentlemen. And so we are going to look deeply into this as we continue on, and I guess these things will be easier for you. I think your understanding is being enhanced slowly by, so it's a step by step. So we are building towards something, and by the end of the day, it will become so easy for you. So thank you so much for watching. This is Kevin Davis Accounting. Recommend your friends to watch. You should subscribe to the channel and then share to your friends also to have a benefit. Until we meet again, it's a bye for now.